Hey guys, what's up? Ryan Potter here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate. Hope you're doing well. And I'm getting ready to start this new series that I kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about called the Why series. And I think it's going to be super beneficial for you and informative. And I'm really excited to do this because I think there's a lot of things that I'm going to cover and questions that I'm going to cover, and hopefully give you the answers to a lot of things for you as someone that might be interested in learning more about the industry and real estate in general, and whether you're buying a house, selling a house, building a house. I'm going to go over a lot of these why questions that I think a lot of people have. And so, first and foremost, thank you for following me and for tuning into this and listening to this series. I think it's going to be, again, just really good for you because that's what I want to do for my clients, my future clients, and everyone who wants to stay up to date with things with that. So let me move into kind of the goal and what I'm going to try to do throughout this series. My goal is to kind of answer some questions that I've been asked throughout the last couple months, and then also throughout my real estate experience. And I'm going to try to answer those questions in storybook form, where I'm going to share stories with you and things that have happened or I've experienced throughout the way, so that when you and I get together and we go through some things, you'll know what to expect and you'll know what to hopefully stay away from in some cases. So typically I'm going to start out just this one with just kind of a get to know me, because a lot of you may not know me and may not know how long I've been in the business and all that kind of stuff. But the first why question I want to answer is why real estate? You know, a lot of people ask me, like, why did you decide to go into real estate? And, what do you love most about your job and all that stuff? And I think the answer for me is pretty simple. The answer for me was I had gone through buying a house a couple times, and before actually getting into the real estate world. And the experience was okay, but there were also experiences from the lending side, from the real estate side, from other things where it just wasn't as expected. It didn't go as planned, I should say. And ran into a couple things, communication issues, things like that. And so for me to get into real estate, it was pretty simple. It was like, I haven't experienced it. A lot of my friends haven't experienced it. And I want to create an experience for people where this experience of buying land and buying a house should be fun, but should be done in a way where I know that I'm taken care of and I'm protected and I'm represented, and I'm looked at as a family member or a close friend, and I'm treated that way from all sides of the transaction. So whether that is your lender or your homeowner's insurance, or you're the real estate agent. And I just didn't see a lot of that taking place. I would see that, somebody might experience a really good real estate agent, but then the lending side would be kind of bad, or whatever the case is. And so for me, a big thing there was I wanted to get into this area and this industry and provide that experience for my clients. I grew up with a great family teaching me the values of respect and integrity and trustworthiness. And for me, that's what I wanted to provide for my future clients. I wanted them to be able to trust me. I wanted them to be able to know that I am experienced and that I've been through certain situations and I know how to handle them. And then I wanted them to treat me and want to treat them as if I were like to be treated like my family or my friends. And so that essentially is what got me kind of intrigued and interested in doing real estate, is because I wanted to provide that experience for my clients. And so why real estate? That's one major reason, is I didn't see a whole lot of that out there, and I still don't see it. I can't tell you how many people I've ran into just in the last recent weeks where I've talked to them about real estate, and as soon as they hear that I'm in real estate, they get kind of a cringe, or they're kind of like, oh, you're in real estate. And as we kind of progress and get into some of the conversations, their experience hasn't been the greatest when working with an agent. And so my goal and my passion and my drive is to kind of change that and flip that, and hopefully give somebody an opportunity to experience something different, something that's genuine and authentic, and to provide them an experience where they can build this trust and respect and hopefully a long-lasting relationship down the road. For me, coming from a background in youth ministry and retail business and college ministry, a lot of that stuff, when I look back on why did I go through those things, or why did God bring me through that stuff? The answer is pretty simple, and I think that is, He taught me how to value relationships. Taught me that there's more to just selling a product, or there's more to it than just getting a transaction done. But it's actually the experience. Is what you hear a lot, is the experience through the transaction. And then what I like to add is the education through the transaction now as I deal with real estate. I not only want them to have a good experience, but I want my clients at the end of the day to be like, man, I learned so much from the beginning of this when we sat down with Ryan grabbing coffee to now we just closed on the house, and we worked with the lender and the real estate agent and also the homeowner's insurance agent, if you don't have one, where everything just ran so smooth. And granted, I get it. There are times and there's situations that come up that make it a little bit more difficult. But hopefully, I'm not saying that this process is perfect by any means, but I hope with the overall goal being that experience is something that you want to share with your friends and your family and your coworkers about how great the home buying or the selling or the building process went for you. That's my overall goal. If I haven't done that for you, then I feel like I failed. And so there's one way of kind of tracking that down. You can read reviews of what people have said about me on my website, on social media, on Facebook, on all those things that I think will help give you a better understanding of just their experience and how they enjoyed it. But that's kind of the big reason why I got in real estate and why I love it. That kind of moves into kind of the last point there. And I love real estate because I love meeting new people. I love cultivating those relationships, and then basically watching that relationship continue to grow throughout the years. Because I'm a guy that totally believes that, listen, the transaction doesn't stop after we close. You're going to see me during the holidays. You're going to see me with events, and you're going to see me throughout the year, and you're going to hear from me throughout the year. And that's what I want to provide to my clients. I want them to provide something that they look back and say, you know what? He cared more about me than he did about the transaction, because at the end of the day, I could care less about the transaction. Yes, it's how I get paid, and yes, it's a part of my job. But at the end of the day, my job is to do what's best in the interests of my clients. And if I didn't provide that to them, then again, that was a failure. And so I want to provide an experience for them that they're not going to forget, and that they're going to come back again and again and again, where you're not having this turnover with other realtors and other things throughout the process, as you see a lot of times where you see someone buy a house and then a couple years later they buy a house with someone else, and then a couple years later they buy a house with someone else. I want to be that guy that's that resource for you, and that person that gets repeated and repeated transactions throughout your lifespan, because I want to be that guy that, again, you trust, and that you look to be that resource and to guide you and to provide that information to you. So that's why I do real estate. That's why I love my job. And hopefully that answers that question for you. So this is the beginning of our new series, Why. We're going to get into some of the things now. It's going to be a lot less about me and a lot more about you and how I can provide that experience for you, how I can educate you on kind of the steps to take, whether you're a home buyer, whether you're a seller, or whether you're someone looking at building. I'm going to cover in this Why series probably about 20 to 25 questions that I think a lot of people ask. And so hopefully that'll be beneficial to you. If you guys have other questions as we're going about through this series, make a comment, send me a message. I would love to cover that for you, as always. And if you want to connect with me on any platform whatsoever, the best way to do that, go to my website, realtorpotter.com. It's going to have all my social media platforms there, email, all that kind of stuff, and it's really easy to connect. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope that helped you get to know me a little bit, and now I look forward to benefiting you and informing you in this new series and the new topics that are coming up. So thanks a lot, guys. I look forward to hearing feedback from you and what you guys think. So Looking forward to connecting here soon. Thanks.